Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. All right. This is the Golden Globes of fundraising, so keep drinking. All right. We got to be a little serious. All right. Well, look, thanks everyone, and thanks for this amazing turnout. We're blessed every year to have so much support from the community, and are so fortunate to be able to honor my dear friend. I see him standing right there. He is. Hi, Marc. Here, Marc Evans, the president of Paramount Pictures. It's amazing. I only knew Marc about 48 hours when I felt confident enough to ask him to be the honoree. And in a true showing of friendship, he agreed in about 2 seconds. So I love you, buddy. Thank you. Become fast friends. Before I get going here, I just want to, as I always do, I just want to say none of this is possible, without the support from my best friend, my support system, Nicole Gumpert. I can't, wherever you are, somewhere. Oh, there you are. I see her. I love you more than words can say. We've been through a lot, and to have you by my side to navigate life's ups and downs just means everything. So thank you, baby. Love you. As you all now know, Marc and I are parents of children suffering with epilepsy. They're each part of a club with far too many members, and nobody should want to join this club. Almost 160,000 folks right here in Los Angeles, 3 million Americans, and 65 million people worldwide, it's a big number, suffer with epilepsy. This is more than the number of people combined with Parkinson's, MS, and cerebral palsy. So in my case, my 16-and-a-half-year-old daughter, Chloe, she suffered a traumatic brain injury at birth. And as a result, she suffers from, among other things, epilepsy. She has approximately about 10 seizures every day, meaning at this point in her life, she has, 3,650, I did the math, 3,650 seizures per year times her 16 and a half years. So she's had about 60,225 seizures and counting. And many kids have it much worse, which is just incredible to even say that. But her mom, Nicole, and Chloe's brother, who's here tonight, Jake, and his little sister, Alex, she's 11 years old. They're here. Yay. They're out there. They live in this epileptic world every day of their lives, and so do the family members of the millions of people worldwide suffering with epilepsy. So in my case, inspired by Chloe, and in Marc's case, as you just heard, inspired by Ari, who also struggles with recurring seizures every day, my family and Marc's have devoted ourselves to making sure all children in LA living with epilepsy, irrespective of their race, their creed, their socioeconomic status, have access to the highest level of specialized care. And, we live right now in a world of who pays for health care. I guess I'll say it this way, it's a political hot button, to say the least. And the demand to see epilepsy specialists and the devastating effects of seizures, they're indiscriminate among all human beings. And so for us, I want to say epilepsy is not a political problem. It's a people problem. That's really what it is. So when Marc and I first got started with this, there were almost no epilepsy specialists in Los Angeles, and those are called epileptologists. That's my fancy word for the night. But they really are. They're specialists who treat epilepsy. And the wait times to see an epileptologist could span 6 months, and that might as well be forever when your child is seizing. And the devastating effects of each individual seizure is very, very real on the growing brain. So suffice to say, Marc and I, we were angry about our personal situations. And we were angry for all the other kids who had to suffer with continued seizures. But as I've always thought, and Marc and I have talked about this a lot, you can't be angry too long. Ralph Waldo Emerson actually, said, for every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. I love that quote. I love it. I try and, think about that all the time. And he's right. So Marc and I, we kept our peace of mind, and we retained, I would say, a productive portion of anger. And with the EFGLA, we just started fighting. And this dinner, this is the 11th round, folks, I call it the brutal hand-to-hand MMA style fight. That's what we're doing, okay? And we're fighting, yeah, we are. And we're fighting a big bad dude. That's what it is, and that's called epilepsy. And we're gaining some ground, and in the first 11 rounds of the fight, the Care and Cure dinner has funded 26 epilepsy fellows, which is incredible. Thanks to you guys. And these remarkable doctors account for a major decrease in the wait times for afflicted patients to see a specialist here in LA. And they therefore have saved numerous lives. And to tack on what Marc said before, we're trying to expand the pool of epilepsy specialists. We hope that will become our focus over the next decade. We know instinctively that the greater the pool of doctors, there's more conversations among them, the more information they can share, more research, and the more they can do to help find a cure. So at the very end of the day, these specialists are on the front lines and they're the game changers. And simply recognizing the correct cause of an underlying epileptic condition and matching it with the right drug or the treatment or the therapy can oftentimes yield immediate life-changing results. And look, we've been fortunate. We've been fortunate to train 26 specialists here in LA, and a few have moved on to areas outside of LA. And this, as you can imagine, is quite normal, and it's probably necessary. So we've seen that in some of the Care and Cure funded fellows, they've moved on to thriving practices in Riverside, Orange County, San Francisco, Detroit, Florida, as Marc just mentioned, and other out-of-state areas. Oh, there's a slide. You get a little sense, perfect timing of what's going on. And so, but with that as a concept, Marc and me and the EFGLA, we've been very hard at work since we last saw you last year, and we want to expand Care and Cure beyond the LA borderline. So we're launching what we're calling the Care and Cure Institute. And what does that mean? Okay, let me give you a little sense of what it is. It's a broader commitment, okay, to the science, to the technology, and to the doctors, and get all of that into other cities. Work city by city to shrink the distance among the doctors, but more importantly, between a doctor and their patient. So basically, we're franchising out the blueprint on what we do here in LA to other cities with the goal of exponentially growing the number of epileptologists across the United States of America. Thank you. And thank you very much. So we figure if we can add one city per year, it's possible that by the 20th anniversary, so 9 years from now at this dinner, we could have 150 Care and Cure fellows nationwide. So that's our goal. And thank you. It won't be easy, but Marc and I are going to do the lean in with the EFGLA, and we're going to make this happen. And it has started. So this year, we're fortunate, as an example, to be working with a major philanthropic organization in Orange County. It's called Lead OC, and they're going to host their version of a Care and Cure dinner next month. And in the audience tonight, I don't know where they are, but I want to thank Brian and Megan Davis. Yay! Brian and Megan Davis, in from OC. They're going to host that dinner to support ending epilepsy, and thank you guys very much. There you go. So the proceeds from that dinner, just to give you a flavor of what we're doing, that's going to fund fellows at the Children's Hospital Orange County and the University of California Irvine Medical Center. And as Marc mentioned earlier, the Leon and Serena Simpkins Foundation was funded this year specifically for a Care and Cure fellow in Miami. So that fellow is going to start work in 2 months. So it's real. So we're really excited by that. Thank you. So what I'm getting at is the ripple effect of our first fundraiser here, which for some of you who've been to these dinners, you know, it was a single golf tournament with 30 guys at Lakeside. Okay, that's what we did. It's now blossomed into a U.S. initiative and a dinner like this. It's incredible, and I just want to thank you all for your support. So, thank you. As a parent dealing with an injured child, look, it's easy to be fearful and scared out of your mind, and that fear can lead to total non-action. But sometimes, that fear is good because it informs our thinking. It focuses our attention on the dangers that lie ahead of us. And some say fear is the opposite of apathy. And I believe in that. For Marc and me, it's a huge motivator. That fear has actually caused us to be strong advocates for the cause. And there's an old proverb that says, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men and women to do nothing. And so we're not going to do nothing, okay? Because apathy is the grease that makes slippery slopes dangerous. And we're not going to let that happen. We refuse to. So we're committed to action so that we end this terrible disease. And it's that activity, frankly, that has brought you all here, and it's led to the most cherished type of charity. Because what we're doing, you guys realize this, we're giving when neither the giver, you guys, nor the receiver knows each other's identity. It's amazing. So we're helping thousands and thousands of people, here in Los Angeles and across the country who will never know who any of us are. And I just find that to be remarkable. So as I conclude, I just want to share one example of this kind of charity. Although, as it turned out in a weird series of events, we ended up meeting a family that we helped. But you'll get the point. So last week, I think it was about 8 or 9 days ago, Marc and I and Marc Borman and Evans, we went to CHLA, and we met with the pediatric neurology, Dr. Holder, and her team. Yay, Dr. Holder. And so we met with the team there at Children's to give Marc a tour of their facility. And we were blessed to hear about this amazing situation. We met the family of a 5-year-old little girl who had been seizing regularly, just like a Chloe situation, every day, all the time. And fortunately, with the doctors there and the epilepsy monitoring station that this Care and Cure dinner funded, the doctors were able to pinpoint the exact spot in the little girl's brain where the seizures were starting from. The bad spot was surgically removed, and we met the little girl literally 2 days after her surgery and about 2 hours before she was going home to West Covina, okay? So Marc and I are in the room with her, and she looks to her mom. It was great. And she literally goes, Mommy, I want to go home. I'm tired. And those were the best words we ever heard. It was amazing to hear that. But I just wanted, I'll leave you with a confession. As I left the room, I suddenly felt a little mixture of sadness, and I'm going to admit this. I haven't said this to anyone yet, but dare I say, a bit of jealousy. Because it seemed to me that the little girl that I had met was seemingly cured. And don't get me wrong, of course, I was very, very happy for that little girl. I mean, beyond words could ever express. But my mind, it traveled. It traveled to a reality. It traveled to the reality that in my situation, every single day of every single year, Nicole and I still need to worry about the seizures that Chloe has. And I was just wishing. I was walking down the hallway, to go get my car, and I was saying to myself, man, I wish a simple, it's not, none of it's simple, a simple surgery could just help her case or help Ari's case, and hundreds of thousands of other kids who have uncontrolled seizures. And so it was a little painful, and it was a feeling of helplessness, to say the least, in that moment. And I wish it upon no one else. But tonight, I guess I'm saying is, rather than letting those feelings of helplessness and fear dominate my mind, I've chosen to suppress them. And I'm going to ask all of you just to help Marc and me to continue the fight and fulfill the EFGLA's mission to end this freaking disease once and for all. All right? Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, thank you, guys. Thank you. Woo. Man, it's never easy. Wow, okay. Okay, cutting to a different situation here. So, every year, we surprise someone in the audience. And we name a Care and Cure Fellowship after that person. And usually the individual is someone who has inspired us. They've devoted time and effort to end epilepsy. So this year we're actually gonna honor a couple. Now, these two people, a husband and wife, they've lived with epilepsy through their child, who experienced his first seizure in 1991. And since that time, they've educated thousands and thousands of people across the country and around the world, frankly, about epilepsy and its impact on families. And they fought tirelessly to support patients' rights and to support families living with epilepsy in every aspect of their lives. So in short, these two individuals are true leaders to end this disease. So with that in mind, I'm very, very proud to announce this year's Care Cure Fellowship will be named after the National Epilepsy Foundation's president and CEO, Phil Gattone, and his wife, Jill. So I hope you're here. No? 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 Yes? You got to come up. Phil and Jill, are you here? Please come to the stage. Oh, thank God. Hey, it's live TV, folks. Yay. I know. Phil.
We're surprised.
Oh, wow, this is really beautiful. I can't believe I'm standing here right now with a microphone next to my wife. This is a very special place. When you think about the struggle of epilepsy, do you think about thousands of seizures for Philip, our son? And then you think about the hope that comes with that, to say there can be better days for other people. And I'll tell you this, for us, we have been extraordinarily blessed. Our son is now 30 years old. He's had 2 brain surgeries for his seizures. He had an aide in the classroom next to him every day through 8th grade. And then his seizures were more and more well controlled, because of somebody who cared enough to do the research, to develop the therapies, to help stop his seizures. And so now, Philip is bigger, he's stronger than me, smarter than me, he can hurt me real easily. He's a black belt in Hapkido. He is a computer engineer, which tells me computer engineers Computer engineers are definitely left-brained, because Phil was missing 12 centimeters of the right side through his surgery. But he's a gentle giant. He cares deeply. His mother, who endured all of the seizures, went on to become a nurse. She studied to become a nurse and was an epilepsy nurse in Chicago for 12 years. Helping thousands of people with epilepsy. Before we moved to Washington, D.C. to serve in this role. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, to tell you that to be able to work alongside Jill in this cause, to serve with you all, and a leader like Susan Peach Escueta, who has dedicated her life to changing more lives, saving lives. Andrew and Marc, and all of you, all of the members of the board of directors of the Epilepsy Foundation of Greater Los Angeles, we are working together, side by side, to change the world, to bring more people the freedom that comes with a therapy that stops seizures. We have the same vision. We share that vision, and we are committed to it. And we're grateful beyond words for this incredible, incredible honor. And we will cherish it, and it just reinvigorates our desire to see this through and to end epilepsy once and for all. Thank you very much. Thank you.